now it's time to jump into Trimble FieldLink. We've just opened up the program and have no data in here. The very first thing we need to do is to create a new project so that we have an area to work in. To do this, we're going to go to the top right menu, which says More. Once we click on More, we will see many options pop up. The one we're going to use now is Projects. Finally, we're going to click Manage. More Projects Manage is the screen where we can go and find every single project that we've ever created. We can go open new projects, we can open old projects, or we can import from our Trimble Connect cloud or a USB thumb drive. To get started with a new project, we're going to hit the Create button at the bottom left-hand corner. Once I hit Create, it will prompt me to enter a name and a description if I choose into this screen. For our project, let's put Training 101. I do like to put dates in my names or my descriptions when possible so I know when data was created. It helps to stay organized when creating projects. I also have the ability to enter an image into this project. This image will show up on Trimble Connect so that we can see what we're looking at. If we'd like to add an image, we could click our File Explorer window right here and then choose a picture from our Windows File Explorer. I'm not going to choose a picture right now. I'm going to hit Create. The next screen that pops up asks us to create a points file, and we can import a model from this screen as well. The important thing on this screen is to make sure that you have a points file in yellow. I can click it to make it inactive and re-click it to make it active. If I do not have an active points file, many of the functions within FieldLink will not be available. My entire Create menu will be grayed out, as well as my Measure menu and most other options. If I would like to rename this file, I can come into my pencil button on the right and rename it as needed. I'll name it Training once again. Now, once I'm happy, I will hit Apply, and I can hit Open to open my project. And that's how you can create your first Trimble FieldLink project. Now that I have a project created, let's see where that lives within Windows. I'm going to open up my Windows File Explorer. Now that we can see my Windows File Explorer, note where we are. We are under our Documents folder and under the FieldLink project. Now, I have a list of all of the projects that I've ever created on this device. If I enter this specific folder, Training 101, anything that I've created in this project will live right in this folder, whether it's points, exports, images, models, or reports. I can find all of that data by coming to this folder. Let's jump back into FieldLink. Before you begin any work or try to import any data, we suggest that you first go to your project settings. So let's jump up to the top here at More, then Projects, and then we will go to Settings. In our project settings, we can change our distance units from metric to imperial, and we can change our coordinate orders from XYZ to NEZ. We also have temperature and language if you need to change it. But since I'm based in the USA, I will use 1/16. Therefore, any dimensions or measurements or readings that I take on my project, and this is across all of my projects, they will read out in 1/16 of an inch instead of meters. If we would choose feet, this would give us feet in tenths. If we would choose US feet, this is US survey feet. There is a very slight distance between feet and US survey feet that you usually only see whenever you're talking very, very large coordinate numbers, and you may see some sort of discrepancy whenever you get out to large surveying coordinates. However, 1/16 of an inch is usually good for what we need to do. I will choose that, and once I go into a different menu, those settings will save across all of my projects. Congratulations! You've just created your first FieldLink project.